MCL, the word in your home.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us on today's Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on CLTV. Here is where we'll educate, inform, and entertain you with the happenings around you, Nigeria and its diaspora. And today promises to be good, so we urge you to stay glued to your television set as you wouldn't want to miss out on the line-up program today. Now, we'll usually start with the WhatsApp Marble just to inspire you as you go out for your daily activities. And on today's WhatsApp Marble, you'd never achieve real success unless you like what you are doing. I'll take it again. You never achieve real success unless you like what you are doing. It is self-explanatory, trying to tell you for you to achieve real success, you need to love whatever you're doing. So no matter the challenges you're facing, whatever you're working at your workplace or the kind of business you're doing, you need to, show love to whatever you're doing. Tell yourself, like, I love this job, it gives me joy, and at the end of the day you find out that you make real success out of that which you're doing. And I welcome you once again to your one-stop breakfast show on CLTV. Straight up to the news. The federal government will begin to verify in the next 2 weeks over 330,820 employees in 486 ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, being paid salaries through Integrated Payroll Personnel Information System (IPPIS) platform. The employees to be verified in the exercise, which begins on Monday, are those that have completed their update on the online verification portal. The head of Civil Service of the Federation, Wilfred Oyoita, disclosed this at a press briefing on the Integrated Payroll Personnel Information System (IPPIS) verification exercise scheduled to hold nationwide. She explained that the online data update started in April 2017, more than 15 months ago, to give ample opportunity for all personnel to log in and carry out their data update. Those who fail to carry out the online updates are therefore excluded from this verification exercise, she warned. The candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Professor Kolamo Olusola, has rejected the result of last Saturday's governorship election in Ekiti State, saying that the outcome of the poll was a daylight robbery. Addressing the press conference on Sunday, the PDP candidate said he will contest the result at the tribunal, while alleging that the APC and INEC worked together to undermine the integrity of the election. From the results of the 16 local government areas in the state, Fayemi defeated his closest rival, Professor Kolabo Olusola of the People's Democratic Party, in 12 local government areas. Fayemi pulled 197,459, while Olusola scored 178,114 votes. The Abia state government has listed the embargo placed on employment for 16 years. The State Civil Service Commission has begun the recruitment process by issuing employment forms. Emmanuel Wanzwe tells us more.
For over 16 years now, the state government has not been able to embark on any mass recruitment due to the embargo it placed on employment in the state. Those who were lucky to secure employment with the state government got employed through waivers by the state governor. However, the story has changed with the recent decision by the state government to lift the embargo placed on employment. It is for this reason that these people converged here at the premises of the State Civil Service Commission in Umuahia. They are here with one mission: to secure the employment funds.
This is making the third time of coming to this place. So the last 2 days it was so difficult for us to obtain the form. But today you can see people is free by collecting the form, photocopying it. Then what we are doing here now is we are checking the grade as the positions which they have specified. So after which we now go and fill the form.
It's moving smoothly. They have made it easier by allowing people to make photocopies of the form. So you can see there's no much congestion as it was on Tuesday. So I think people are finding it easier collecting the forms, and it's not left for them to do the necessary.
To me, it was very tedious. The world has gone digital, and everything I believe should go digital. It's really tedious. We had to stand in the rain. We had to source for this. In fact, at some point, even came together, which is not really correct.
Mr. Jonathan Elosier is the Permanent Secretary, Abia State Civil Service Commission.
Part of the employment process is to ask applicants or to invite application from suitably qualified candidates. They come obtain our application forms, fill them or complete them and return. When we started, there was a rush, a very big rush. The forms are enough to go around, but in the situation where there is a rush and where people are desperate to get it at all costs, then it will give us some kind of confusion and commotion. That was what reached between from Monday till Tuesday. But from yesterday, we now liberalized the issuance process. And part of that liberalization was to ask them to photocopy. We also assured them that photocopies are as valid as the original copies.
Though he admitted that there are difficulties associated with the distribution of the funds, Mr. Elosier promised that the exercise will be conducted electronically in the future.
I want to assure you that this will be the last time employment test and everything will be done like this. It will be done electronically when it will be done. By then we have put all the facilities in place to ensure that it is done efficiently and effectively or smoothly.
The exercise provides the opportunity for employment in the different cadres of the civil service. For those who are yet to pick up the employment forms, the process will end on Friday, 20th July 2018. Emmanuel Mazwe, MCL News.
Former Nigeria's Vice President Atiku Abubakar has praised Governor Okezie Ikpeazu for his efforts at placing Abia on the world map through his promotion for locally made products. He said that this during his one-day working visit to the state. Nora Ukafo tells us more.
The visit afforded the former Vice President the opportunity to interact with stakeholders of the Abia State chapter of the People's Democratic Party. Abubakar described Abia as a state with unprecedented potentials, both in human and natural resources. He decried the religious and ethnic division in the country, the high level of insecurity, and the continued decline of the country's economy. The former Vice President called on Nigerians to unite and come up with a leadership that will turn things around in the country. He used the forum to declare his intention to contest for the highest political office in the country, the presidency, on the platform of the People's Democratic Party in the 2019 presidential election.
I'm also here to confirm the party leadership in the state and also the delegates in our forthcoming convention to elect, the flag bearer of our great party. And therefore, Your Excellency, I intend to present myself to the party faithful as one of those aspirants in our great party, and therefore request for their support.
In his response, Governor Okezie Ikpeazu advised Nigerians to make the right decision by taking into account the history of the country. The governor said that Nigerians should be sincere in choosing who should preside over their affairs. He called on Nigerians to vote wisely in next year's general elections. The governor also called on members of the party to consider the pedigree of the former vice president as they prepare to choose the standard bearer of the party.
Can't afford to gamble because we are at the precipice. Failed to take the right decisions, we may not have the opportunity to correct our mistakes. Previously, we had the luxury of trial and error. But where we are today calls for deep thinking, sober reflection.
Earlier, the former governor of Ogun State, Benga Daniel, lamented the current sorry state of the country and expressed optimism that Nigeria would rise again. Daniel said majority of Nigerians are disappointed with the present administration at the center. He also called on Nigerians to vote for the right candidates to avoid the mistakes of the past. Other notable members of PDP that accompanied the former vice president include former Enugu State Governor Okwesiweze Nwodo, Senator Abdul Ningi, among others. Nora Okafor, MCL News.
Former Governor of Abia State, Dr. Ojuzo Kalu, says the federal government is working around the clock to stop the killings taking place in the north-central zone and other parts of the country. Ojuzo Kalu made this note while speaking to press in his country home, Iwere, in the local government area of the state. The report.
The spate of killings across the country has drawn widespread condemnation from most Nigerians and the international community. Some notable Nigerians, including members of the ruling All Progressive Congress, have called for the removal of the service chiefs, while others have accused the presidency of turning a blind eye to the bloodletting. The killings spilled over to 2018 and have continued unabated. The Moku New Year killing of Christian faithful returning from church was still fresh in the hearts of Nigerians when painful news reports emerged from Benue. The police authorities proudly announced the arrest of the perpetrators of the Omoku killings. However, the police command seemed helpless as it has been unable to stop the bloodbath taking place in some north-central states such as Benue, Taraba, Plateau, Nasarawa, Zamfara State. With the rate of killings taking place in that part of the country, it does appear that the affected states have been turned into a killing field. The situation worsened more than 1 week ago following a devastating attack on some communities in 3 local government areas of Plateau State. It was reported that about 200 persons were killed while another 200 sustained gunshot wounds when the herdsmen struck in the affected communities. The attack has drawn condemnation from around the country, with many Nigerians accusing the presidency and his security chiefs of inefficiency. Former Governor Oji Kalu assured that the presidency was working seriously to stop the killings.
Is there any president in Nigeria that will be happy that people are being killed? Is Buhari not the father of people? Is he not the father of children? Is he not the father of nature? No president will see his or her people being killed and will be happy. This killing in that region and the place is standing for is just government upon government. None of the government have sat down or been able to settle the matter. If the people who give it up gave up our lands for honor, gave up capacity, gave up people right of passage, those are where the mistake came from. But it will take time also to correct it. The courageous leaders, the people of peace like you, to be able to correct it.
The media briefing attracted journalists from various media houses and members of the Abia State chapter of the All Progressive Congress. Chooks, AK, MCL News.
The Nigerian community in South Africa have expressed shock over the killing of another Nigerian, Mr. Martins Ibuzomi, by unknown assailants in that country. The president of Nigerian Union in South Africa, Mr. Adetola Olubola confirmed to newsmen in Abuja on Sunday that the victim was killed in Yorkville, Johannesburg. The killing came barely 24 hours after the visit of South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa to Nigeria. Ramaphosa had, during his visit on July 11, said that the killing of Nigerians and other foreign nationals in the country was an act of criminality not specifically targeted at Nigerians. The Nigerian Consul General in Johannesburg, Mr. Godwin Adama, said that latest killing did not have anything to do with xenophobic attacks. Adama told the newsmen on phone from Johannesburg that the killing happened in a crime-infested area of the country. Reports say that killing of Nigerians in South Africa had been on the increase in recent times. That's much you can take on today's news segment on Good Morning Abia. We'll go for a break. When we come back, more news headlines will be coming your way, but that will be on our newspaper review. Please stay with us.
Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
What is that noise?
It is Obezekwek.
What did they have?
Yeah, now they're gonna go.
Okay, so
time to rebuild Abia. I urge you to set aside our differences so that together we can join hands and build the Abia of our dreams. Remember that my word is my bond.
show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, they go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCL TV.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Alright, thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCL TV. It is now time for us to go through the national dailies, and as usual, we are starting with the Daily Sun. At the top right of the Daily Sun newspaper this morning, speak out against dictatorial tendencies, Wike tells cleric. Go to page 42 and get a story. The boldly written headline there says, Igbo want Biafra, IPOP tells article. Again, group rejects restructuring. The story you can get on page 41 of the Daily Sun. Moving down the picture element, President Emmanuel Macron of France celebrating his country victory at the 2018 World Cup final in Russia yesterday. Beneath that, Abacha leads, reps begin probe this week. Go to page 3 and get the story. Fayemi clinches Ekiti Guba amid protests. Eleka PDP rejects result as Wike others alleged fraud. Go to pages 6, 39 and 40 and get the story. Closer to that, 4 policemen burned to death in Edo. Go to page 4 and get the story. And of course, closer to the picture element there, you see Ekiti Guba results. When you get the paper, you go through it and know what that is actually saying. Beneath the front page of Daily Sun newspaper, London Arbitration Court orders Owando chiefs to pay Volpe $680 million. The story you can get on page 37 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Now we'll move straight up to the back page. At the back page there, you can see Kasmiel Ibokwe says, like Fayoshe, Nigeria's democracy has serious neck pains. Go to page 47 and know what that is saying. Giwa Sas Diko Salihu from LMC. It's found on page 46 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Need for government of national reconciliation. need for government of national reconciliation. You see the map of Nigeria there. Let me quickly read out something that is called out. Times like this requires the recruitment of patriotic gladiators who must now take up the gauntlet to defend the Nigerian theme. I believe we are conditioned by our circumstances to rise to the occasion of our reality. Go to the back page and get full details of what that is actually saying. Now, second to the next paper, the Nation newspaper. At the top left of Nation newspaper this morning, 23 soldiers missing in Borno after attack is found on page 38 of the Nation newspaper. Gunmen kill couple in Anambra community is found on page 5. It's a tragic one in Anambra State. Go to page 5 and get the story. Now coming to page 19, unclaimed dividends hit 130 billion naira. And to page 44, loyal to governors meet Buhari on policing. Oba of Benin mess case for cultural unity. Go to page 4 and get the story. Moving down, of course, the picture elements. Still France Olivier Giroud holding up the World Cup trophy as players celebrate winning the title for the second time yesterday. France get Russia 2018 trophy and $38 million. Go to page 23 and get the story. The boldly written headline there, moving down, says how Ekiti governorship election was won and lost. The write-up following that says Buhari governors, Tinubu others held governor-elects, Olusola for tribunal as PDP kids, Wike ex-governor reject poll. Go to page 6 and get the story. UK courts Volpi to pay 60% of $680 million owed by FAME. Go to page 7 and get the story. Beneath the front page of the Nation newspaper, NIMSI seeks 150 billion naira to enroll every Nigerian. NIMSI seeks 150 billion naira to enroll every Nigerian. Go to page 44 and get the story. Delta APC, we will take over in 2019. Delta APC, we will take over in 2019. Go to page 40 and get the story. Now we'll move straight to the back page of Nation newspaper. And coming from Sam Omaseye in Touch, it says barbaric. Barbaric is the word there. You see the picture element of Shomole. It says some members of the NWC said they want the delegate system, while the others want it to be through the red primaries. But at bottom is the question as to what is the system that best represents the tempo and temperament of the party. Now moving down, the football hero. Go to the back page of the Nation newspaper, get the headline there, the football hero. You see the picture element of Abia. Then on hardball, directors who are not directors. If you want to know who directors who are not directors are, go to the back page on hardball and get the story. On repos, crude oil won't be an income resource in 10 years, says expert. In fact, let the oil dry up and there will be peace. That's the response following that. Now to the last paper on our desk, talking about the New Telegraph. At the top of New Telegraph paper this morning, China's oil firm to invest $30 billion in Nigeria. Go to page 4 and get the story. NCC licenses 37 value-added services firms. It's found on page 21 of the New Telegraph. Sex scandal rocks lasso. Associate professor arrested. It's found on page 32 of the New Telegraph. 2019, again, Okotie joins presidential race. Again, Okotie joins presidential race. Go to page 36 and get the story. FIRS records 90 billion naira revenue drop in May and June. The stories can get on page 4 of the New Telegraph. Owando, Volpi differ over $680 million London court judgment. It's found on page 4 of the New Telegraph. The major headline in front of the New Telegraph says, Ekiti governorship pool, Buhari EFCC go after Fayose. Buhari EFCC go after Fayose. The write-ups following that says the first one, presidency, governor is a thug. Urgency, we will prosecute him for graft. Eleke heads to tribunal. ANEC, security operatives robbed us, says PDP. OBJ, Tinubu to Fayemi, be magnanimous in victory. Be magnanimous in victory. Now, Governors Carlos Saraki held Fayemi. How the best was won and lost. Fayose and Eleka. What next after October 16? Go to pages 2, 8, and 12 and get the story. Fayemi, I will undo suffering. Fayose unleashed on Ekiti. I will undo suffering. Fayose unleashed on Ekiti. The story you can get on page 2 of the New Telegraph. The second one says Ekiti governorship election results. You can go through it there when you get the paper. 4 policemen killed, burnt inside petrol van. Expect us soon. Robbers right to Lagos communities. Wow. Go to page 6 and get the story. On health, eating 1 orange per day causes age-related blindness. Eating 1 orange per day causes age-related blindness. Very, very necessary you go to page 31 and get what that is actually saying, because it has to do with your health. Now straight up to the back page of our New Telegraph. From Buhari to Adeosun, the ethical question. From Buhari to Adeosun, the ethical question is just the title of what that is saying is our public arena, the column you write. You can go to the back page there and get the story. On High Chief, Ekiti Gubapu, INEC declares Fayemi winner, says news. Ekiti Gubapu, INEC declares Fayemi winner, says news. And the response there says, thank God it was peaceful. We can now sleep with our eyes closed. Okay, all these are found on the national dailies. Immediately after the program, just go to the nearest vendor, buy any of the papers so as to read more on the headlines that we just read out to you this morning. And you're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCL TV. We'll go for a break. When we come back, the program will continue. Please, do stay with us.
Stop breakfast show on TV.
For inquiries and booking, contact Address Hotel and Suites at number 18 Upper Road, Obo Hill, Abba. Telephone 081 000 00895 or 081 000 00896. Address, the pride of hospitality and tourism.
Have you heard of Prescal World and Heaven Auctions Limited? Prescal is the home of the direct image right here in Abia. Why go to Lagos or Port Harcourt for your direct image jobs? Come to Prescal World and Heaven's Auctions located at number 145 Atikube Road, Abia for perfect cover page, journals, magazines, brochures, and flyers. We also offer printing services in digital flex and billboard, window graphics, posters, stickers, gift transfers, ID cards, complimentary cards, monogram and car branding. Heaven Options offer you entertainment services like event management, ambulance services with well-dignified undertakers. We can also boast of 3 months ordinary program in computer training, 6 months certificate in computer training, and 1 year advanced certificate in computer training. Why not visit Prescott and experience that quality jobs? For inquiries, call 080-33-22-6115, 070-40-24-7196, 070-84-69-8165.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCL TV.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
When you do that, you are done. You are ready to go. Remember using it. Yeah. So when we start to get these in large numbers, the first shipment of AK-47 to the SPLA, SPLM was from who? Guess who? The late Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. We are rebelling against the Arabs. And the first person to rush and give us AK-47 is another Arab leader. Yeah. Oh, man.
Hello, South Sudan. Hello, Juba. Wherever place you are tuned, today is a very special day, the 8th of July, and of course tomorrow our Independence Day, the day we have been waiting for. We will be a new nation. Tomorrow we shall be free from the Arabs, we shall be free from slavery. So I love to say, as you know, that we have been struggling, and struggling for 4 generations. But I hope you guys are preparing, and I know the temperatures today are a little bit hot, and of course tomorrow we shall be free at last.
Okay. Happy. It's been a long journey to get here today. For us as a country, and also at individual levels. Throughout the struggle, from 1955 to 2005, I have lost a lot of people. Almost all the male in my family have been lost through different battles, different engagements here and there, including my father with all three of his brothers, my brother, and a few cousins from both mom's side and my dad's side. So it's not easy. It's not easy seeing a lot of death as a child. It's not easy being trained, to be a killer, to be a soldier at that age. It distorts a lot of things in your head. So our generation, even though we got traumatized through the process, we must find a way to be good citizens of this country and make sure this country is prosperous, united and democratic. So this particular basketball team is special. The fact that it is the first to represent the country, the first to ever put on a jersey, and to put it on as the first captain of that goes down in history.
ده حاجة كويس عشان لنا بنلمه ده الكلام المكتوب هنا نبني البلد ونبني نقوي الجيم لأن بدينا قبيلة بتاع شنو أنا داير كابتن
Bright Stars on 3. 1, 2, 3. I didn't hear that. 1, 2, 3. Bright Stars. I can't hear that. 1, 2, 3. Bright Stars. That's better.
singing the national anthem of the old Sudan as we know it. Because the next few hours we will have a new country. We'll be divided into two. That's it. That's the last time we're singing it. It's over. It's over. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. We're done, we're done, we're done. That's over. Over. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
President of the Republic of South Sudan, General Salva Kiir Mayardit. Today, we celebrate the birth of our country and the freedom of our people. We should always remember that our nation was born of the blood of our heroes and heroines who fought for many decades for the freedom we now enjoy. The task of building a nation and a state is enormous and challenging. Yet, the freedom we have will never be reversed by anybody.
First day they gave me one like this. Yeah, give me this one. Give me this one. First November 1990. It was so heavy. But by the way, when I was doing the training, when I did the training, when the training is about to finish and then they give you the real guns to train with, while standing, I cannot do this while standing. It was too heavy. I could hold it like this up, but as soon as it reaches like this, my arm would go down. So what I would do is I would sit down like this on the ground and put that, and then do it while sitting on the ground. And then when you are going to area your deployment, you get scared. People start farting. You know, you start like, guy, what's wrong with you? Nobody talks. Everybody's silent. Then you go to your deployment area. When you go into your trench or under your tree, you are deployed, you are scared. And then the Arabs start to come. Let's say you are the one setting the ambush. The Arabs start to come. And they come with a lot of cars and a lot of true armored, and you can hear them from far. Always is at night and you engage early in the morning. But as soon as the first bullet goes like this, that's it. You don't get scared anymore. I love it. Freedom giver! Thanks to Mikhail Kalashnikov. It's crazy, man. How would you design a gun like this? This gun, if you find somebody that has been shot by AK-47 on the ground, you will think this person has been hit by a truck. Man, this guy, man, his designer good. For poor people like us. It's not sophisticated. It doesn't have the night, all this stuff for silencers or anything. But it just kills. Yeah? It just kills. You just aim at direct direction, you just shoot 4 bullets in that direction. Bang, 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 bang. And somebody goes, oh, motherfucker, bang, bang, bang. This is my land. Stay out of it. Stay in the north. It's better for you. Ah, my friend. Man, the training was terrible, man. It was the most traumatizing thing ever. They didn't care whether you died or not. They postponed the game today because the Ugandan side, they wanted their basketball federation president to attend the game, and he's not here. So he's going to fly in tomorrow from Uganda. This is now the changes number 10, not number 11. This is Juba. So when you're in Juba, you expect anything.
My room was not built in one day, so.
Yeah.
So no problem.
So we're playing the game in the same place, Juba 1, at the same time tomorrow. After the game? Even though 2 minutes is or not, we're just going to have a party. We're going to create a party. If you lose, some of you will go and cry at home. Some of you will go for their girlfriends, whatever. You know? But if we win, we have a good party.
We can't win.
No, man. Are you ladies sure you'll win?
Not ladies, no.
Huh? No, not ladies, are you sure? No. Who need good?
Oh, man. Let's show them anyway.
Hello South Sudan, I love to say you guys are welcome to our special program today. After the independence, the North are still giving us a lot of stress. Now it's about the oil now. They need a lot of money to be paid for the oil to pass in their land, what we call oil transit. But the government of South Sudan is not willing to pay a lot of money. South Sudan depends mostly on the oil, you know, roads, salary, hospitals is being financed by the oil revenue. So we need to know from you, we shut down the oil or what should our government do? We'll be willing to hear from you, pick some of your calls. Anyway, we need to hear from you.
Juba City. I think here is okay. a rocket launcher from here. I can aim at my house. I can see top of my house there. You know this whitish building? Go to the left a little bit. There it is there. All this construction here, they all came in the last 5 years. 5-6 years. The Sudan government did not want to build anything. They want resources in the south, the oil, the gold, uranium, limestone, you know, the agricultural land. So they want the resources, but they don't want the people who own the resources. Very imperialistic. So we refuse to be second-class citizens in our own country, and the war never stopped really until we separated. I have my own country now. Yeah, it's my own. You can never. This is the only country you can build. You know, you feel you are part of building it. Feel part of history. You know, I'm somebody who has seen the worst of this war. I have a chance to have my education outside. I was in Australia for 8 years. And my house was a beautiful house, just on the beach. Very nice car, you know, a good job. The university which I finished wanted to employ me. You know, beautiful. You know, but no, it's not your country. So I'd rather take my chances here. Our problem is that our democracy is still young. It can easily fall back, and people can start fighting. Fight for resources, fight for control. It's the same. It's the same. Fight of ideology. You know. The current crop of leaders are former generals, and they are militaristic in mind. If they fight it out in a democratic way, good. And if they sink to their tribal groupings and pick up arms, then I don't think we'll have a country. I don't think we'll have a country. Yeah, we can tear it down easily.
Facing the Ugandan team this afternoon, what do we have exactly? If we stay as a unit, we can beat any team. I already heard that the Ugandan is scared of us because of our size, things like that. You know, but we're going to beat them. And then they come to us and tell us, you have to play with discipline, sportsmanship. You are representing our country, so you must play with discipline. Don't push the Ugandan. If they push you, don't push them back. What are we playing, chess? Is it a game of chess? The chess is the way you sit on the other side of the table and you don't touch anybody. This is a contact game. You know, it's a violent dance. Some American coach put it. You know, basketball is a violent dance. So, you know, you can't put me in a place and then say, don't shoot. Go into the battle. If they shoot you, just dodge. Don't shoot back. Now just leave me in the house.
We are going to have a team of Uganda and South Sudan playing a test match. This is the first time such event has happened, and all this because of the independence of South Sudan. This is only the beginning. We all know that South Sudan has been closed from the outside world for so many years.
In white, you can see we South Sudan. We're right here, our national team representing here today, the 13th of March, 2011. Here we go. Take it down. I'm going to get up last year. Let's match with Asiana. Uganda. Taking the mic in possession of the ball. The passes is on, and you guys kill. Again, in possession of the ball, he tries. Unlucky. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the time out. And as we go through...
You got to control yourself. Those people are faster, so we want to run now.
Okay? Shooting in there is just too many coaches at the moment. This is just fucking up the game. They just have one coach. We cannot understand all this bullshit. What are all these coaches for? Let's go. Fourth. You got it, man. You got it.
Keep it nice. Music. And number 11 from Uganda, that's Robert. Now he goes for the free throw. There's his foul, number 17. Possession of the ball right. Stop. 1.5 seconds. 5 seconds. 1.5 seconds.
Lost by one basket.
The coach is not here. Okay? And there's no basketball federation person here. Okay? So we are just actually talking to ourselves. Okay? So that we can take control of our game. The coach is not going to do it for us. He's not going to do it. And I don't trust that coach cannot get influence from these people. Okay? How many substitutions were made outside coach's knowledge? It was a zoo. That coaching place was a zoo. Like monkeys jumping up and down, and now they say the players. You know, we want a meeting where whatever they were saying, they need to say it while we are here.
That's what I was.
And then we have to respond, and they have to listen. But they are scared.
Yep. We could all sit down and tell girls, money, we're not playing for the national team again. It's very easy. We have a school, people have lives, these people are quitting. We could all say we don't want to play basketball. As they took you in the basketball team, they have to treat us like slaves. Huh? We have to stand up for our rights.
Let's leave what happened behind. Let's start refocusing and make sure that we correct those things in the game. All these mistakes, they're not happening in the sports alone, they're happening everywhere in the country. And if we all give up, our country is not moving anywhere. We always have to have the resilience, always bounce back, come back, until something changes. Okay? And I believe something is going to change.
Concern. Yes.
Oh, this is the small thing out of down in the history.
No.
Archives, you know. Hey. A handsome guy.
Please.
Yes, honey. You one another from we were in the same journey from when we left the then Sudan to Ethiopia. Then we were together in Ethiopia. Then we left Ethiopia. We came back to the Sudan by that time. Then we proceeded to Kenya. So we knew one another from when we were kids. Yeah. And then we kind of parted ways in our early 20s. He went to Australia. I went to Canada. We came back. And then we met again. So.
Yeah? Talk about the thing you are. What do you think?
I do it, you can boost it again.
I'm doing
Right.
Keng aja mami ginog, man. Magai. Magai, cium tok daddy, mami. Mami cium tok daddy. Cium tok daddy, mami. Mami cium tok daddy.
Cium tok daddy?
Cium tok daddy, mami. Mami cium tok daddy. Mami cium tok daddy. Banana boat. Duri, banana boat. Okay. Banana boat, then banana boat, yeah. Banana boat. Bagai. Ane ran cina macet, jadi nganggal cina jalan, jadi cina macet. Boleh jagun jadi ting, ngagu. Pani nyai gu boleh nyantong jual jagam, dilinya demici mamre. Juba Ural International Highway, the lifeline of our country. No railroads, no proper airline, this is our lifeline. Highway. See how cool it is, I'm going to drive with one hand. I'm actually cruise controlling. Cruise control, you get better than this. Where do you expect to build roads from? The country is broke. Its only source of income has been blocked. The Ministry of Petroleum and Mining has decided to reduce the drilling of oil. All the pipelines, they pass through Sudan. So when your only income passes through your sworn enemy, you don't expect to live well. So we are still getting our economic freedom. We've got political freedom, but we're still fighting for our economic freedom. So the war is still on. The SPLA soldiers were stationed at that water point towards their headquarters. That was at the height of the civil war in the north and the south. It was a very chaotic time. When they were doing their operation here early 1987, I have already started traveling from my home area of Warab State, from Fish County, walking towards this direction, going to Ethiopia. Now this is Europe. I remember these mango trees.
Quite the ways, eh? Now we have if we were to try right now, I don't think we'll manage.
All people were lined up here. People were sitting here, going there. Thousands of people. I think about 20,000. There is the water. There is the body water. This is the water. You know, we had to cross this. Yeah, I've never come here. It's the first time I'm coming to this spot since 1987. See?
And you remember it? Wow.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
I said I'll ask you questions on the election. Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV. Yes, sir. And of course, today we are assessing the election that took place in Ekiti State, the governorship election. And before we move on, we are speaking. We want to speak. Okay, can you hear me, sir? Okay, you are the chairman of PDP in Ekiti State, Barrister Okay, Barrister Boyega, you're welcome to the program. You're on live now, so you react as we ask you. Tell us what's the outcome of the election that took place in your state.
The outcome is known to the world. It was declared by INEC that the party won. But the people and the PDP, they are saying that is wrong, and there was no substantial compliance with the rules, the electoral rules. What is more is that a lot of people are sick. You can understand. A lot of people were somebody arrested, some were attacked, and because of this, and because of that, a lot of juggling of figures. We are saying that that electoral is not acceptable to us. And there is no joy in the land. There is joy in the land.
Okay.
There is no celebrate. Because what people wanted was not what they declared.
Okay.
People are the people that they vote. But because of intimidation, because of harassment, because some others and some people came under bombardment, heavy shooting of police and men and some stuff like the APC, they were saying that it was, and there was massive death. Over 11 people were moved down to this state to buy votes. And with that, and about 30,000 policemen were moved into the small state because of the conduct of an election. Many other people, other places, crying for protection. But police also sector. These police are came and before they are talking to the governor of the state. These are the an ordinary president that standing with the board of the group and clapping both down. And they all started shooting at our people. We have to rush back to the government house. This is not how to conduct an election. Some of our men of the day, the lady was put under house arrest, the man was delivered to them. And some were put under house arrest. The houses of another man called, I don't know, the political government was provided by policemen and David Clare. So, in Southwest Lagos, the former chief of staff of paramilitary police, they start arresting people on the line. So this was a place called it.
So many irregularities.
I got to support nothing aside of carrying on the settlement PDP controlled area. And the PDP was sent out of the place. They changed the normal place here, the normal place, changed it to the front of the area, and let me see now, and the celebrate. In a day, look at my family. They look at this complex. In a day, look at my one and two, the leaders there are picking up somebody is active, and they don't know any election system. And again, when you look at the total number of votes cast, or the cast for the two leading contenders, the APC and the PDP, the total number of votes were more than the accredited record. You have 4 accredited records, but without the clear, one party has 10, the other party has 15. This is already to get it. The figures are not beyond 4. So that is why we send people around town yesterday. There was making good tests where they were making go that it does not have a mind. Because the case of like graduate, using the word of the national public certificate, it is not a short of that.
Okay, sir. Barrister, tell us what is your party doing looking at all these irregularities that you just made mention this morning?
What we are doing?
Yes, the PDP.
Yes, we are listening to the voice of the people. People are gratified and people are saying that we must fight and bring back the mandate, that the mandate does not belong to them. And there is no other constitutional means that we can replace this mandate except we go to court. And the area of court, we are getting prepared to go to court to make sure we work on this bastardization
Okay, thank you.
Do that in the future. Even the federal election coming, how many police will be in town? How many police will be in town? How do they not open the central bank and start buying this and do that? We will not do like our former president did.
Okay.
Without harassment, there was no government that was picking up, there was nobody that was arrested, and what is this? Yes, of course, the congratulations, Buhari and despite all the permission, and nothing thing that is not go, Nigeria into war and bloodbath. So as far as we are concerned, the election remains unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Barrister Boyega. Thank you so much, okay, for answering this call. And of course, we'll call you next time, and we hope you attend to our call. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. God bless you, and God bless the government.
God bless you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was the chairman of PDP in Ekiti State giving us a breakdown of what happened on Saturday. And he is saying that the election in Ekiti State is unacceptable. You know, you heard him mentioning some of the irregularities and, of course, some of his men being under house arrest and intimidations that went on the election. So today we are assessing the Ekiti State election that took place on Saturday. This is what we'll be looking at today. You heard some of the things that the PDP chairman in Ekiti State said. And, of course, we have in the house to discuss with us this morning Barrister Victor Wugu. He is also an APC member. So good to have you on the program.
Good morning and very good morning to people of Abia. The election is a lesson we should learn in the Southeast. Okay, thank you so much. And sitting next to Barrister Victor Wugu is Barrister Sir Moses Obona. He is the PDP organizing secretary in Abia State. So good to have you on the program this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Abians. And I agree Ekiti election ought to be a lesson.
Okay, Ekiti election ought to be a lesson. Now, starting with you, Barrister Victor Wugu, you heard what the PDP chairman in Ekiti State said. He made mention of so many irregularities and, of course, some of his men being under house arrest. How will you assess this election? Do you agree with what Barrister Boyega said?
I'll start by blaming your studio. You got one-sided view. You didn't interview the APC chairman in Ekiti. You didn't interview the police in Ekiti. You didn't interview the zonal police in Ekiti. You didn't interview the IGP. You know, in Nigeria, you know, it's difficult for people to accept defeat. Even though when Fayoshe won, Fayemi didn't go to court to challenge his victory. But you see, the question, the PDP candidate, who knows him? Professor, as I stand, I don't even know his name. What people know is Fayoshe. But it's on record that Fayoshe was not on the ballot. So Fayoshe brought an unpopular and unknown candidate. And let me tell you one clear fact. You know, Yoruba people are more sophisticated than any part of this country. It was clear to the other two zones that with Fayemi having only 4 years in an office, their best option of getting to the government house was to vote in Fayemi, who can only stay there for 4 years, and not to vote a man who will go there to stay for 8 years. Just like, for instance, if by 2019, the election in Abia State and election in Nigeria, if the Abia North wants to, they are eager to occupy the government house, it will be foolish of them to vote for a candidate who will stay there for 8 years. When there is a man who has already spent 4 years, it will be shorter for you to deal with the man who has 4 years remaining, so that you can have opportunity after his 4 years. Hitherto in Nigeria, it will be foolishness on the part of the Southeast who are saying we want to be president to attempt to vote for another Buhari, because Buhari by any means cannot stay there beyond 2023. So for me, the Ekiti people reason that way. The other zones, if you see the voting pattern, you see 12 states out of 16 went 12 local government out of 16 went the way of Fayemi, because they know that Fayemi cannot stay there beyond 4 years. So it was a clear victory. Even the local government of Fayoshe lost, because they say you are not on the ballot.
you have finished your term and you want to inflict this leprous man on us, and he rejected him. So it's a clear victory on the part of Fayemi, who did well. I've been to in fact, is sometimes I just wonder how someone like Fayosho could rule the governor of Ekiti, because Ekiti is one place where you don't go there to pride like a professor. In every household there's a professor. If you move from here, before you count 5 houses, you would have seen 2 libraries, 2 bookshops. So Ekiti is the center of education in Nigeria. But unfortunately, while Fayemi planted and upgraded the educational level, Fayoshe, you know, he's a man who believes in stomach infrastructure, came there and was dancing around, sharing money, and Ekiti made one of the worst work results in the history of it.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Barrister Moses, now tell us, how would you assess this election that took place in
I'm surprised. Well, the best people to assess Ekiti election are people from Ekiti. And I'm sure that was the reason why you called up the chairman who was on the ground to tell us exactly what happened. I'm not coming to conjecture and begin to profile theories. The man said there was intimidation, police intimidation. A lot of people were arrested, held on house arrest. The police tear gassed people and beat them up. The total vote cast is less than the number of votes. These are the issues you need to look at. I'm not talking about Fayoshe or Fayemi. We are not interested in who comes out of it. Because what applies in Ekiti, like both of us agreed, ought to be a lesson for future elections. We are having a fascist who is on board, ready to do anything anyhow, kill anybody and maim anybody to achieve result. And everybody agreed that all what INEC is professing they are going to do will be a litmus test for it to show whether Nigeria has come of age, whether we are ready for democracy. And the result we are getting from Ekiti is the same old news: ballot paper snatching, intimidation of political opponents, arresting, maiming, and killing of people, concoction of results, which is what happened that I played in Ekiti. So, if anybody is coming to say you presented a one-term candidate, a two-term candidate, allow the people to use their votes, their ballot or PVCs, to express it. Not a situation you bring in, but for the first time in this, I've seen where a governor is tear gassed and beat up. This is the first time. It can only happen in a fascist regime, a regime that has no respect for humanity. This is the first time I see people are being killed and maimed, driven out of their homes, and yet the result that comes from that place is larger than the result that comes out from a place that is peaceful, orderly, and quiet. So, for me, like I told every PDP person, we cannot, may not, if we continue the way we are going, we cannot expect a better result in any of the future elections. Also, election is going to be the same. The general election is going to be the same.
Okay, we'll come to that, sir. We'll come to that. Thank you so much. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCL TV. We'll go for a break. When we come back, the program will continue. Please do stay with us.
Stop breakfast show on TV.
Chukwu na-enye ka nri onye ọbụla Chukwu na-enye ka nri onye ọbụla. Ọ na-enye ka ndị ọrụ bekee na-eri ikpege n'ọnwa n'ọnwa. Ọ na-enye o, ọ na-enye o, ọ na-enye o. Hello, my name is Buchi. Keep watching MCL TV and don't go away. Aye, God has given you victory. Aye, He has given you victory. Aye, God has given you victory. Aye, He has given you victory. What's up, people? It's your boy E-Ben, ministering to God's children, and you're watching MCL TV. Don't touch that dial. Peace. I love you.
MCL, the word in your home.
One-stop breakfast show on TV.
Thank you so much for joining us. You're still watching Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on MCL TV. We are actually assessing the Ekiti governorship election, and of course the line will right now be open for you to be part of today's program. Barrister Moses, going by the analysis you gave, it's like you're saying that the election wasn't free, but local observers said that the election was free and fair.
Who are these local observers? And where was the area that intimidation occurred and where they were? Can you have a local observer that will cover 16 local governments at the same time? He will observe where he were, and most of them used to stay at the local government awaiting the results to come, or just to browse about early in the morning and come back.
You want to tell us that the local observers don't go to where
have been here when elections go on. The comments of these local observers are always tilting towards areas that were where the government interest is. When you give them enough money to assuage their expenses and their accommodation, they will tell you what you want to hear. If Fayoshe's group had won, that is PDP, under any circumstance, the local observers, given the kind of post we give in Nigeria, will also tell you it was free and fair. But I am telling you, prior to the election, what outplayed in Ekiti gave signal to what will happen on Saturday. Where the governor was tear-gassed, where the governor in turn himself, addressed transporters, all are aimed at playing the other. That's a hit of the polity in Ekiti. So before the election proper, the polity in Ekiti was already hit up. Everybody expected anything to happen. So that you saw people on queue orderly does not necessarily mean that there were not areas where people were held in their homes.
Can we see who's on the line, Barrister? Hold on, let's see who's on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome to the program, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
My name is Cabo. I'm calling from West.
Go ahead with your contribution based on what we're looking at this morning, sir.
My contribution, the PDP, in time of Morening, you said things happen in the city.
Hello. Well, we need you to call us back again and explain why you said that. Go ahead, sir.
So what I'm saying is this. There are salient points the man raised. Amongst them, the most important is that the total vote cast is in disparity with the total votes announced. If you add up the one scored by Fayeme and Deleke or whatever his name is, does not sum up to the total vote cast.
Okay.
Including the vote. Will you also say it
was
is an orderly, rigged-free election, if it is true? So we are saying that what INEC claim...
Hold on. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You're welcome. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
And Gift, coming from
All right, Gift, what's your contribution based on what we are discussing today?
No.
Okay, Gift, you need to call us back again.
INEC promised that there will be viewing centers, result centers, where all the results will be declared. And everybody will be seeing it. Transmitted from the ward to the local government, from the local government to the, from the booth units to the ward, from the ward to the local government to the states. I didn't see that.
Okay, we want to Barrister Victor Wungu to react right now. Barrister Victor Wungu, what do you have to say concerning the issue raised by the PDP chairman in Ekiti State, that going by the irregularities, he made mention of the election not being accepted by the electorate there in Ekiti State?
Before I go into that, let me quickly disagree with my learned colleague.
Okay.
We all know Fayoshe as a comic reliever.
And we want you to apologize to him.
A governor.
You are talking to a governor.
Please.
An excellency.
Please.
Can you apply the word comic? That's very derogatory.
A man who claimed to have been tear gassed. And you ask yourself, when tear gas is released here, it will not only affect one person, it will affect all of us here. We didn't see any other person who was affected by the so-called tear gas within the environment where Fayoshe found himself. The tear gas suddenly twisted his neck, twisted his arm, injured his leg. You see, when a man was, it was clear that his time had come. And the major problem is that that man looted the treasury of Ekiti. And he knows what. I can tell you, 1 week before the former handover, Fayoshe, in his usual manner, will disappear. Fayoshe will never stand to hand over. I quote it today. Okay. He will abandon the affairs of the state.
Sorry to cut you short, sir. Let's go to the line. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome to the program, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you, my sister. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry, sir. For now, I used to disagree with you. But I would want to say I agree with you on this time. If at the end of the day election has to be free and fair, we will say that is the normal slogan or normal thing everybody say whenever after the election. And to this, to my gentleman that has been talking for 80, we all saw the video about what happened a day or before the election, about what they did to the governor. We saw everybody when they ran away. We saw the gunshot, how they were shooting radically on the head. I don't see I want to ask, what is the reason for this? That is just my question.
What is the reason
for? What is the reason for the shooting? What is the reason for the tear gas? I have the video on my phone. I can see, if anybody wants, I can see send it. I heard the guy that come from two different videos. They were saying it before the while the shooting were going on. elected the affair. Why that? Why that particular incident?
Thank you very much. We will react to that.
The person that is at the helm of the affair, he is still ruling with the military might. Things are not to be done that way. Who didn't lose? In that case, we saw the governor, they looted, but the question is, how did you do your own looting? Was it well looted? Was there any conflict papers? They give contract and they put their body. We all know what is happening in this nation.
Alright, thank you so much. You've made your point. Hold on, sir. You've made your point and you asked a very good question. He will react to that. What led to the shooting and the tear gassing? Thank you so much. Yes. You've made your point. Go ahead, sir.
You see, society is not all commerce affair where you wake up and you do what you insist to do. Let us go back to the case of Abia State. When Buhari came to campaign in Abia State, there was a formal application to use the stadium. The governor then said no, and the stadium was Buhari was locked out of the stadium. I asked, could Buhari and APC supporters would they have gone to break through the stadium to insist that we must use the stadium? Of course they didn't.
Was that what played out?
I'm coming. Buhari had to go to one dingy open space to go and do his campaign. In Ekiti, APC applied to the police to do a road show. Police said no, because of the volatile nature, what we are hearing, we will not grant you permission to do open air campaign. Go to a designated place and do your campaign. They applied for the designated place and it was approved. PDP the same day said they want to do an open air campaign and they said no. Not only and other parties are applied, they said no. The way you're going to do your campaign, if APC is doing campaign in Ado Ekiti today, so we will not grant PDP because there is likely to be clash.
Okay.
Fayose, because this is a man that wants to cause trouble, decided to go against the police directive. Gathered people and police said, we will not allow this. Fayose himself was not even at that venue. So we have not come to a situation, a society where you just wake up and insist that you must do this.
Okay, that was actually led to.
That is, you see, when people don't know the story of what happened, they begin to say anything they like.
Yeah, thank you. It's a good one. Thank you so much. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my name is
Paul. Paul, you need to call us back again. Reduce the volume of your television set before calling us so that we can hear you clearly. Go ahead, Barrister Moses, you want to react quickly, sir, please.
You see, my problem is when people say...
Somebody is on the line, sir. Sorry. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah, good day. My name is Dr. Jesse. I'm calling from West.
Welcome, Doc. Your contribution, please.
Yes, what happened in the state beyond the allegations of vote buying by both APC and PDP is that the PDP governor won the election because of the going to pay civil servants. I mean, in a free and fair election, you cannot pay civil servants 7 months salary and still win the election. So that has to be factored too.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Vice President. You can't. Oh yes, backlog of salary and still win election.
Listen, let me tell you, what people do and what they didn't do does not.
Do you agree with what Barrister Victor said that was what led to the shooting?
I disagree with him. I disagree with him.
Then what led to the shooting?
There was no clash between PDP and APC.
I didn't say there was clash.
Excuse me now.
Between PDP and the police.
No,
when they
yes, the police went to harass the PDP people when they were doing their campaigns. That was what happened. Whether the police did not give them permit or not, it's a different matter.
It is the main issue.
Excuse me. You are saying that Fayose was not even there.
Yes.
If Fayose was not there, where was he when he was tear gassed?
He claimed that they came to government. You see, you have to follow he claimed that they came to government house beat him up in government house and tear gas.
That was a claim. That was a claim.
That is what we are saying.
Okay,
It's a claim. The video clip showed properly that they were in government house.
No, I'm saying no.
That is
was the rally in government house.
Was that a rally? Listen, there was a meeting in five.
That was saying
transporters.
Are you talking about rally or you are talking about
the incident?
It was the meeting now, not a rally. That's what I want to correct.
Can we see who is on the line, sir? Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
We can hear you. Your name. Reduce the volume of your television set, sir, and get back to us, please.
So there's something I want to say. He said, which we already know.
Briefly, sir, so that we can.
The moment they hand over to Fayed, they will arrest the Fayed. As they will arrest every other person claiming corruption. He has rightly said in the plans. PDP today, if they nominate a candidate, they will arrest him on corruption.
Okay.
They will frame up something. That is their plan.
Okay.
That is why they are calling the Oga the commander for corruption, who is also the commander for slaying people, killing people, and nobody has been arrested. So these people who kill people cannot be arrested. You only concoct a story and say somebody is corrupt simply because he's not.
Barrister, I want you to react, but please mind the kind of words you use so that we won't get ourselves insulted here. So tell her, I want you to react to what Barrister Moses said of coming to government house where they are having meetings with transporters.
See, if you follow exactly what happened in Ekiti, the day Buhari was to come to Ekiti, you know, Fayose has what is called street sense. He went and hired transporters to block the road against a president coming to a state. What happened was that there was disagreement between the sum of money agreed to pay to the transporters and the actual money that was given to the transporters. So between the government officials and the transporters, they had disagreements. Then among themselves,
how did the police get involved?
that is the question. Police, of course, police was not there. And Fayose, you know, the man, you know, he trying to cling on something to make news. The IG has invited his ADC. Whether any policeman assaulted him or tear gas that environment, if you look at that environment, you ask yourself, how come tear gas was released in the midst of people? Only one man. Only one. Sorry.
Only you know. Somebody called us here and said that he had a video of what actually happened.
No, the question, which video? I've told you two occasions.
Yeah.
Occasion of PDP rally where there was no permission, and police said you cannot do this.
Can we see who's on the line, sir?
Okay.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Yeah, my name is Chiemela.
Mr. Chairman, you're welcome.
Very quick. I want to ask Mr. Wugo for being there this morning.
Thank you so much.
Let Mr. Wugo know that the that was in the government house when you were rally. That is what I want you to know.
In the government house, what is
my assessment of the election is that Nigerians refer to participate. If my work will saw in it, we had 35%.
That's 5, yeah.
For that election.
And only 2.
And between your Ethiopia and JP, block it out. So if I am, if I have my say, let's participate. There will be less money. You know that the first time that was discussing your studio last week, well, listen to the right and then listen to the left.
Good morning, sir. Now, gentlemen, let's quickly react because
I didn't get what
he said that he wants you to know that the tear gas took place in the government house, and he said doesn't mean that we run two-party system in Abia State. Yes, he's only on my question. Can one confidently say that Nigeria runs two-party system when we have 35 parties, you know, fielded their candidates, but the rest was history. I want you to react to that. Let's just leave the argument of Tiaga because we are not here to talk about what happened. We are here to talk about the election itself.
It depends on the environment. If you come to Southeast, there are 3 major parties in the Southeast.
3 major parties?
Yes.
Which are?
APC, PDP, and Abga. If you go to Southwest, it is majorly 2 parties, or virtually 1 party. APC, and then virtually APC. If you come to North, you have APC and PDP.
Okay, sir.
So
you've answered the question. You've answered the question. Now, Barrister Moses, can we say that we run only 2 parties in here when we have 35 parties that fielded their candidates and all that were history?
Yes, I will believe that majorly we have 2 parties.
Majorly we have 2 parties.
Majorly we have 2 parties.
Why is it so?
Because PDP and APC can be found in all the states, dominantly in all the states.
Okay.
While these other parties like Abga can only be said to be somewhere in the east and cannot be found in the west or in the north. All right? And these other 38 parties are just parties that got registered in order to get INEC subvention.
And in the portfolio of
so that there will be. Otherwise, the party system that fits this country is 2-party system. We don't need to go into those other ones. That's why before an election you see an amalgam, people coming into arrangement. These are 38 parties who cannot make their mark. So they want a presidential candidate or a Guba candidate whom after winning they can be able to defeat.
There are about 60-something parties.
Whatever. Yeah. So what I'm telling you is this. My senior here is an adherent of APC, an apostle of change, a change that has put us from good to worse. He cannot change.
Moses, make it
I am telling you that the next move now will be handing of PDP leadership in the name of corruption.
Hold on, sir.
That is what he has said. He has professed that we do.
Because of our time, sir, we need to stop right now. We need to stop right now, gentlemen. Because of our time, we no longer have time.
We no longer have time.
Thank you sincerely so much for making our time to be with us. Congratulations.
Yes, I urge Abians, I urge Southeast people, we should reason well in 2019 if truly we want an Igbo man to be president in 2023.
Thank you for that.
We don't have any option than to
thank you for that advice. Thank you so much for
that. Before 2023 return Buhari, there will be no his head. He will need God to make his head remain on his head.
I want to say something, gentlemen. I know you guys are just saying this on a lighter note, but we have so many things to talk about this Ekiti state. So we hope you'll be here tomorrow too, also, and some other representative of some other parties that will discuss with us concerning this Ekiti election. Thank you, Barrister Vito, for coming.
Thank you,
Thank you, Barrister Moses, for coming. All right, this is how far we can go with the discussion segment, and of course we still have so many things to talk about this Ekiti governorship election. And to those that are still calling us, you have several calls there. I'll say apologies, okay? But join us tomorrow where we'll also be, assessing the Ekiti governorship election tomorrow, so that we'll give you enough time for you to tell us what you want to tell us. We sincerely apologize. We'll go for a break. When we come back, it will be time for sports updates coming from Jonah Oje. Please stay with us.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Monday morning, and it is good to have you on this segment of the sports segment of our program this morning. My name is Jonah Oji. We take a look at various issues in the world of sports and bring them all to your doorstep so that you will be able to get acquainted with all that is happening in the world of sports. All right, we want to start with the NFF crisis, where it is still ongoing. The crisis there at the glass house is far from over, from one problem to the other. I want to tell you this morning that the executive committee of the Nigeria Football Federation, led by Chris Giwa, has directed chairman of the league management company LMC, Shehu Diko, and chief operating officer Salisu Abubakar to step aside following their committal to prison. Diko and Abubakar were committed to prison for disobeying court orders. Giwa told them, Giwa, who is a faction of the Nigeria, who leads a faction of the Nigeria Football Federation, told them to vacate office, that they did not obey the rule of the courts that really told them to vacate office. I want to tell you that we will see how that unfolds. Maju Pinnick is there in Russia. The game, that is a global showpiece, that is the World Cup, just ended yesterday, and we'll see what will happen. We say right now that we have two presidents of the Nigeria Football Federation, one local and one foreign, because Amaju Pinnick is there in Russia, while Chris Giwa, who is also laying claim to that seat, is here in Nigeria. We will see what will happen later, but FIFA has made his stand known to Nigeria that they will not recognize any person as president of the Nigeria Football Federation aside from Pinnick. All right, let us now go over to World Cup that just ended yesterday. It was a good day for France as they claimed their second World Cup after 20 years. You know, the first time that France won the World Cup was in 1998. And during that time, one player that claimed the title yesterday had not been born. And that player is Kylian Mbappe, who is 19 years now. So the last time that France won it, he had not been born. So we say congratulations to the likes of Kylian Mbappe. In that game yesterday, France defeated Croatia by 4-2 to make sure that they claimed the title. France victory meant Deschamps, who captained them 20 years ago, became just the third man to win the competition as a player and as a coach. Croatia also felt their luck deserted them, but ultimately France ran out victorious to erase the memories of the loss to Portugal in the Euro 2016 final in Paris. So we say congratulations to France for winning that title. They needed it most. That is what some pundits said yesterday, that the French side really needed that title more than every other opponent in the 2018 World Cup. But the Croats really tried yesterday to make sure that they also claimed the title, but that never came to its fruition. All right, let us now go over to tennis, where it was a good day also for the tennis player, and that tennis player is Novak Djokovic. Just yesterday, he claimed the Wimbledon title, claiming yesterday after defeating Anderson from South Africa. Djokovic defeated Kevin Anderson 6-2, 6-2, 7-6 to make sure that he claimed the title on center court yesterday. After the monumental drama provided by both men's semi-finals, the two longest in Wimbledon history, the showpiece proved something of anticlimax as Djokovic ended the 2-year Grand Slam title drought. We say congratulations to this man who had not won any title, not won any title for about 2.5 years. But yesterday he broke that jinx that really beclouded him for about 2 years, and so we say congratulations to Djokovic, and that will also mean that he will climb up in the rankings as they will be released very soon. Okay, this is where we call it quits on this segment. I hand you over to Stella Wando.
All right, thank you so much, Janoje, for that sports update. Of course, this is how far we can go with the program. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Join us again tomorrow, where we'll still be looking at the governorship election in Ekiti State. Bye for now. Stay tuned for Nasala Chukwumade. Do have a lovely day ahead.
MCL, the word in your home.